Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers whip ass.
And you will too, if you pass.
Right.
Now, this is the episode where we are warrioring without worrying. We're doing the 5 favorite things that warriors do without busting a fool's head to the white meat. All right. So,
We know that's the favorite.
right. So, the way we did that, we looked at other martial arts and combat sports athletes and things like that, and looked at what they would post their favorite things to do, and we compiled that, and how much they said this and this and this and this, and then ourselves included in that, and we came up with the top 5 things that warriors apparently love to do besides warrioring. And when we say warrioring, we mean not training in martial techniques, not making whoopie, because warriors love to do that.
Yes, they do. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, that's why. We just had our 9th child yesterday.
Congratulations, about
She's a beautiful, hefty girl. And I when I was holding, I said, "Oh, this one, you got a lot of children." I said, "Oh, she's 7.2 pounds."
When you held her.
Yeah. And so, and the midwife, she said, "Okay, let's measure her," and she was 7.3 pounds. I was right. I was 1 pound, one point off. So 7.3 pounds equals about 7 pounds 5 ounces.
So you eyeballing babies like the weed man, basically.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You experienced, Bobby. You doing it like that. Now, good gracious.
So I was like, wow. And 7 pounds 5 ounces, that's big for a girl.
Yeah. How big was Jamie?
She was only 6 pounds. You see how big she is. She was.
You got something coming.
She was 6 pounds 5 ounces. So this baby a whole pound heavier. And Jamie was 21 inches long. Okikio is 20 inches long. So she's gonna be tall and like her.
Wait a minute, but Baby was 7 point. Baby was big like that.
Really?
Yeah. So you never know. She ain't small though. Right. So yeah.
And she's not short either.
She's not short, and I don't know if she finished growing yet.
All right. Suck the nigger's dick. That's. I'm not telling y'all to do that. I'm saying that's a person in here. You're gonna have to be putting time out or something, or change your name, or.
Yeah, I don't see his name up here now. Maybe you refer. Maybe it's not on no more.
No, he's there. I'd put him in time out for 5 minutes. It's not letting me block him, so he got power too.
Oh, excuse me.
He got power. That's probably somebody from the show just using an alias, being gross out here.
Well, come on, man. That's a little gross.
It's very gross.
I've never been one of those dudes. We talked about that last year a little bit. I've never been one of those dudes to say that. Like, that's something I don't say to people. I don't understand the meaning
what
behind
you saying? Like, say what man saying that to a woman or whatever? Hey, look at sucking his dick.
Yeah, or you know what I'm saying, or saying it to another dude, like, man, like I never understand.
That's too much. And when you locked up, mother kill you over that because they make men do that.
Right. You ain't got to be locked up. You around people who've been locked up and say
right.
That. and the same thing happened. So, hey, before we get started, we got a few people in the chat. Please hit the like, please hit the notification button so you can be aware. Share this broadcast. This can help anybody who's always maybe uptight. People that don't maybe know how to relax. You got people who maybe they aren't quote unquote warriors. Maybe they just be soldiers, or just people that's
people that work hard.
Right. So this could help different people. AG, peace. What's going on? And so we always go a couple different places. Before we get into this, I want to speak real quick, but I just want to address that video that's going around and everything without actually addressing it.
Of the cops doing the
right
the Now those are the ones, yeah, N words. Yes.
Right. Exactly. So I didn't see the video. I know what happened. You got the 5 so-called black cops that
Yeah, I
killed
saw. I saw
they
it.
killed their brother. So first, I just want to say, just because the hand of this power structure may have a black hand, we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You work for the folks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you just another mouthpiece for the folks. So
And you work for the folks. You are the folks.
you are the folks. So
Right.
that's the first thing about that. So that's the same as it'd be same as white cops. I feel the exact same way. There's no difference to me. So that's the first thing. Unless it's worse, if anything. So it's no difference. I just want to say that. Secondly, I want to say something. You don't have to go watch that video just because it's on your feed. I just want to read this real quick. This is research shows that black people suffer from PTSD. We already know that. But specifically from watching videos of blacks being killed by police. It's a phenomenon called linked fate, where we see ourselves and loved ones in the place of victims. Be careful watching that Tariq Nicole's murder video. Protect your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just something I put it out there a little earlier today because what I notice is most people do feel a lot of anxiety about something like this, and they feel a need to want to do something. And a lot of times that stems from the fact that they realize they haven't been doing anything. So it's no need to put yourself in that type of mental state. You know what's going on around you. You know what you need to do. Looking at this video ain't gonna do nothing to the last video you looked at did for you. If you ain't done nothing yet, that video ain't gonna make you do nothing else.
Now I remember when George Floyd was murdered, the little boy, made the song "I Just Want to Live," and I was crying because first, the little boy shouldn't be what a little boy is thinking about. I just want to live. That's number one. But he's watching these videos. He got PTSD. That's purely he's talking like somebody who's been in combat. But two, I cried because I'm like, we're not ready. We're not trained because what he should have been saying shouldn't have been, I just want to live.
Right. Not me, motherfucker. I'm coming for your ass.
Right. Your oppressor should be saying, I just want to live when he's on his knees in front of you. But that I'm an old dinosaur. Don't go and put your oppressor on the knees in front of you. So Balagoon ain't telling you to do that. So now greetings on me, Nikki. AG, Jadarian, Eugene Mason, everybody else in the chat. Esther N-words, penis is back. Just don't get crazy, Esther, because I can't just keep blocking you like that. Eugene Mason said, but we must stop sleepwalking in this reality. Absolutely. Now, Eugene Mason said, what's going on with the Police City protest? So, Cop City protests, they were protesting Cop City in the first place.
Right.
And the cops chose to murder one of the protesters. And then somebody lit one of the cops' cars on fire.
That's what I want to speak on too.
But bust up some city property. So it's going on. It's still going on. But I will say this morning, I counted nine, and it was military police vehicles were riding with APD, Atlanta Police Department, over on Marietta Street. So it's about to get ugly.
I wanted to say about this too, man. I always feel like in America, even in what we would consider small, this isn't a small situation what's going on with the Cop City thing. This could be a precedent, in big metropolitan cities, what's happening right here. So this is important and big, and it's a spotlight on it. I don't believe anything happens by accident. down to any death that the police take. I think everything is under orders. Excuse me, but that's the way I think. You know, maybe it isn't. So I say all that to say one thing I did notice, and first thing I want to say is to the brother that lost his life. I definitely, my heart goes out to him and his family. I don't believe that he had a weapon brandished. That hasn't been proven yet.
I saw the video. If he did, they must have disarmed him quick, and so there was no need to do what they did.
Either way. So
They, like Billy said, don't watch the video, but I tell you, they were taking off on him like stepping back so they can get the most powerful shots on him while another one held him.
These like Rodney King, basically.
Right. I was thinking how when
well, it was worse than Rodney King. So
yeah,
they were hitting him with fists to the jaw. Just so everybody knows, with Rodney King, they were hitting him with the blunt side with the long side of the stick. That's not as damaging as a fist. Now they hit him with the pommel, like you take the edge of the stick. That would have been more damaging than a fist. So those dudes, thank God, they were just some trained police. They weren't trained in nothing else, so they didn't know to hit Rodney King like that, or he probably wouldn't have came out of it alive.
Right.
But these cops, the way they were taking off, it wasn't like they were greatly trained, but they knew. I mean, they probably were breaking their hands. They were hitting him so hard where you could actually hear it. Like, I'm like, they had sound effects. That's what it sounded like. From a camera that's way up on a pole, you can still hear them cracking them. I didn't even know. I'm like, I didn't even know sound was on the poles.
Dang. I was looking at what was going on when the protester had got killed, what happened on Twitter, and I'm looking at the language, and you got this organization that started tweeting out. They called for a weekend of, what was the word? The phrase they put it, a weekend of something. Where they would call for everybody from anywhere that has a problem with police to come to Atlanta and basically, tear it up or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, it was the organization that I don't know the name of them, but the organization that was behind that, they were on Twitter. Let me find the name of them. I want to find the name I'm talking. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, put it in the chat for me. But it was an organization. And that's why I was so amazed, because organizations don't talk like this. Usually it's an anonymous person from a Twitter account. This was an organization calling for a weekend of mayhem or something against the police. And they had asked for everybody that has a problem with police around in America to come, and that's when they had the little riots.
Well, that's it. That's probably, well, I don't know all black people in America, but damn near all people, blacks, brown.
Right. But for me, just when I looked at those tweets, I was like, I don't know who behind that right there.
Yeah,
we don't
especially talking like that.
We don't talk like that. We don't move like that.
Well, I was about to say that sounds like a white organization must have done that, because that sounds, everyone who has problems with police across America
converge.
I mean, it could have been a white organization, but I tell you, white, black, or whatever, whenever there are protests, you can believe there's always police in there, and they'll set it off, like throw a brick at the police, so there's violence upon the people.
Whoever put them tweets out, that wasn't smart at all. Or it was very intelligent, and you trying to lead people to their demise. Because that wasn't us. And when I say us, I don't mean just black people. I mean somebody real that's really into this thing. Nobody would do nothing like that. They wouldn't put that out. It wouldn't have been throwing no bricks through someplace downtown. That's just stupidness. That ain't
people saying they're angry enough without having seen the video. What's the point of watching it? Now, a lot of people are kind of mixing or confusing what happened in Tennessee to the brother being beaten by the cops with what happened in Cop City.
Oh yeah, I could see that, and or tangling them all together.
Right.
Yeah,
conflating them. Right.
Two different things.
No, they're different, but the same is the same.
Definitely the same.
Right, but so you're going to get those same effects, but don't let others use those things and affect us with stuff. So they're saying go down to Atlanta, and people come to Atlanta, y'all beat that brother. And they didn't do that, but they've killed enough. They did kill the protesters of Cop City. You know, they've locked up several of them, and they've accused them of domestic terrorism. That, and you pull in the military. I mean, they're using torture because they've said they're domestic terrorists. Now you're bringing in the military too, and it's military police vehicles. So you're bringing in military police working with the regular police. Military police do not have the same so-called mission as municipal or state police. Municipal and state police, we know they don't, but they're supposed to protect and serve the people, right? They don't do that. They protect and serve business owners, you know, the capitalists. But in that way, they're similar to the military police mission. So military, period. Their main mission is to eliminate the enemy. Wow, and that is, however, so when you see them, it's going to be death.
And we should be thinking about anytime something like this happens, we should be thinking this can happen to us. Anytime something like this happened, that's why when the bank took Kanye money and everybody was like, "Yeah, I'm glad he took his money." I'm like, he didn't break no laws.
Now
they could do that to you. They could take your, and now it's happening at Bank of America right now.
The Spider-Man 1785 said, meanwhile, real domestic terrorists are attacking power stations all over America. Yeah, real domestic terrorists, goddamn it, I'm making food for us to eat that's straight poison. Real domestic terrorists are teaching our children in the schools bullshit. There's all kinds of real domestic terrorists out here.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be done to, you know.
Putting forever chemicals in the river water and stuff like that. Like those are the real domestic terrorists right there. Serious business.
Right.
Oh, man.
The real domestic terrorists just murdered that brother in Tennessee. Those real domestic terrorists.
And that's my biggest thing, man. When you see these things, and you should be thinking about what are you gonna do if this happens to you? How are you gonna move? How should you be planning, preparing?
Eugene Mason said, if you storm the Capitol, you're just peaceful protesters. Hey, talking about the January 6ers, right?
I don't even speak on that.
Right.
I get so. Let me tell you what I don't like, and this is not about that. I don't like when people be like, "You see, they did this and nothing happened to them." But can we get past the them us pictures that we always put up? The white man get to do this. We here. We know what the deal is.
And I say to my wife often, don't expect them to ever treat you like they treat white folks. Ever, because they are white folks. And even the black ones who doing it, they are white folks. White to me ain't got nothing to do with your skin. It's got something to do with your mentality.
Definitely.
And so these black folks, that's the police that beat that brother down and all of that. And that it was by the way, in the military vehicles, I'm trying my best to look. In one of the vehicles, you can see it was a brother riding in there. Well, he gonna kill for the army. He gonna do what the army say do. When I was in the army, I'm like, shit. I'm the army. I wasn't me. I was the army. You know, and people in the army do things they wouldn't normally do. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force. Doing shit you wouldn't normally do. It is a Space Force. You know, that's the National Guard. So those are the military forces. Space Force is the newest.
Right.
And you have to wonder about that one.
I don't even want to wonder no more.
But if I was in the military, I'd like to go to the Space Force because they probably ain't doing shit right now.
I think it's a show about the Space Force too. That's what's funny.
Right,
they make that show a comedy so that's what you can associate with Space Force,
right?
And you're not really thinking about what they really doing,
right? Now, in a minute, well, because Bezos and Gates and them going to the moon and all this shit. So that's why you got Space Force in Space Force form, but I don't see them doing that much right now, right? They may be doing way more than we can imagine.
So Ishtar, you asked, the question is, what are we going to do about it? We don't need to see any more videos. That's correct. Well, one of the things we should never do, we always should be training, and we should be making sure that this situation is not it's not going to happen to us, our loved ones, and that. But whatever you want to do, even if it's a peaceful protest, never discuss your strategy online. Never discuss your strategy on social media. I don't care what I'm doing.
In large meetings. So I was in a meeting once. Kalani was at that meeting. So they brought in all the supposed hard hitters in Atlanta, right? And we on this panel, and I'm looking, I'm like, the only people I know that the only people I would want with me if shit go down would be me and Kalanji, my students who were in the audience. That was about it. And maybe a couple of people in the audience, other people who were watching. But this one sister who I knew, she was on fire in the community. And I was what happened? Something happened. They kind of disappeared. But anyway, so she was on fire in the community. And I was like, her rise was so quick. And she's a nurse. She was always rebel rousing. So she said, no, she ain't no nurse. I don't know what she is. But she was always at every community thing. She would have something to say. And first she just seemed strong. They like strong warrior sister. And I'm looking like, I gotta watch her before I tell me she's a strong warrior. She may be a warrior, but not for our goddamn side. So she says, y'all are talking real strong. But if the FBI was in here or the CIA or something or the police, you wouldn't be talking that strong if they were in here. I said, they are in here. She wasn't addressing me, but she was still talking about everybody on the panel. Right. I'm like, they in here right now. Probably her.
Right.
But I'm like, they in here right now. So what are you talking about? And I'm like, but. So everybody like, had things. I said, but the whole thing is there are 75, 80 people in this room. I'll talk about what I'll do, but I'll talk about what you should do. But what I'll do, you'll never hear it. Just pray you aren't the recipient of it. I'm not gonna sit up here on here. I will give you all information, give you all techniques to protect yourself and your loved ones, but I'll be damned if I discuss strategy with on here. Now, when we talk about what should be done, a simple thing is we should protect ourselves.
Right.
At all costs. At all costs.
Jadarian said some real thing. Yes, join a serious community organization that's doing real work to make change. That's definitely what you want to do. Every Black person should be a part of an organization. You don't see known members of the Nation of Islam or anybody that getting slain,
right,
by the police and stuff like that. That don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Strength in numbers. I don't care.
Man, it was an organization that I was part of, and we were fighting this other organization that another organization, I'll say that. And the police pull up. Everybody against the wall, you're going to jail. I'm looking. There are about 100 of us out there and about 150 of them, I said, we're not going to jail today, officer. He looked at his partner like creeping back towards the car. I'm like, it's 2 of these dudes.
Like, what are we
We're not
doing?
going to jail today, officer. So he looks at the other organization. You heard them? They said they're not going to jail today. You all get against the wall then, because they weren't standing up. He said, you guys can leave. And we broke out. So I'm telling you that now. We asked, what can we do? Number one thing we can do, the number one thing we don't do is unify. That's number one. So y'all heard me talk about the whole thing with WotC and how they were being draconic with the people about, you know, the official, the open gaming license, all that with D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Those people left, thousands left from D&D Beyond, which is their online site. They were talking about not going to their $100 million, $200 million movie they just made that's coming out in March. They all like, we're not going. They're encouraging everybody else not to go. D&D gave an apology. This is a major corporation. They walked back. They said, okay, we're going to, you know, cancel the open gaming light. We're not canceling it. And now they're giving an even better license, which is called Creative Commons. Right. They beat their ass into submission. The people.
The people came together.
The people, if you unify, so that's a major corporation, they beat down because they unified.
And now more than ever, Bob,
we got to do that.
Now more than ever, we can make changes because government don't run nothing anymore. It's corporations, and corporations need our dollars for real, and they are really swayed, hip hop, all of that. So the more we control our voice, you know what I'm saying, our dollar, things like that, we can really affect different things. And like you said, unify and be, you know, have strong resolve. You know?
That's what we gotta do. Have unity. Because we had unity, and the police didn't arrest us because I said no, we're not getting arrested. Now, if we unify, it's not enough to be a bunch of unified idiots. We unify and then we train.
Serious.
And we got to research. So research anything you become a part of. Research the things that you're going to do. Look at the history of things to see if it can be done. Research all these corporations because that you have issues with, right? A lot of times, things we think are government ain't government anyway. It's corporations. Corporations have long been running things. At one time, JP Morgan, the human being, owned the United States. Basically, they were in debt to him. Yeah. Now, the post office. Everybody in America, damn near, thinks the post office is federal. That's a private company. They call themselves the U.S. Post Office. Just because they put U.S., I can put the U.S. hat office and sell these hats. And you think I'm selling for the government?
Federal Express,
same thing. These are private companies. They ain't got nothing to do.
Yep.
So you know the USPS is going to shut down because the government doesn't have money. What the USPS shutting down ain't got nothing to do.
But the government.
The government have money. So don't get fooled. And now let's pay more taxes.
Right.
Let's do, because you think you saving the USPS.
No. One other thing I want to hit on, Bob, and you know who I'm talking about. You remember this incident. We don't know this person personally, but I remember a few years ago, it was this figure on social media. Somebody messaged me and said, "Hey man, I want you to meet this person. They're in Atlanta. They looking for somewhere. They need like an organization, some people to talk to. You know, they in the right. They got the right heart. You know, they just need to be, you know, meet the right people, whatever." So I was like, "Okay, what's her name?" Oops, I didn't say her. I gave that part out. So they said, they said that they gave me I asked for the name. They gave me the name. I went to the page, and the first thing I seen was them talking about they doing a live with guns and stuff saying, yeah, if the feds come for me and the police come for me, I'm a blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. They try to do me like so, I'm a blah, 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 blah. I instantly sent her a message. I said, sister, you need to delete that video you just put up and never put up videos like that again, showing yourself with tools, weapons, and issuing threats to the police. And don't ever do nothing like that. You shouldn't do nothing like that. She sent me a message back, brother, you must be one of the most soft suckers that so and so. It's evident you ain't about it. You ain't gonna do nothing, so I'm gonna have to do it. So you go right ahead. 2 weeks later, they was yanking her out of her own house. She on live. They coming to get me. Somebody help me. And I ain't trying to, I'm not being funny. She had nobody in her corner. She had nobody. It was just her online, just talking shit. Not knowing that that's the quickest way to get removed and de-lived. Like,
she got black bagged.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't heard nothing from her since.
She back now in a more docile. We don't, no protests, no nothing. She's selling shea butter.
If y'all remember it's another person. They made the song, "You the white man, bitch." Said the white man, bitch. You the white man, bitch. I said that white man, bitch. And then it's another song she made. And she's showing all these different politicians and different folks with white folks, you know, just timing and shit. And she made another song like that. She just went off it was, I forget the name of it, like the devil. She made a whole bunch of real inflammatory songs, and they were hilarious. But I'm like, this sister, she gonna get the knock on the door, and it's not funny. But you just stop hearing from her.
Hey,
it's like, look, so if you do that, one, like, okay, I'm on my deck right now. I had to look at my deck and decide where I'm shooting from. I decided the best place to shoot would be back to this wall where you can't tell where I'm at.
Right.
I know I'm at my house, but if I turn it around, you look, okay, that's so-and-so. That's the song. The street can show in it. So I may say something. I don't want to get at the door. You know what I mean? So that's number one. Don't show where you at. Don't tell your actual strategies online. You can give
politics. Don't even give your politics
stuff. Your politics gonna show, but you ain't gotta spell your plans don't have to show though. Your politics will show. Your plans don't have to show. Now, our manifesto asks, how would Baba defend himself if he was attacked in such a way by pigs? We can deal with that on the next show. How I would defend myself if I'm attacked by 5 pigs. Okay. And we can do both. If I'm attacked by 5 pigs, oink, oink, and 5 other pigs.
I know which ones you're running from. I'm gonna give people a hint. I think you're running from.
One of those 5 pigs, I'm gonna try my best to run from. They may be faster than me.
The other 5,
because them 5 pigs, although one of them, I hope one will run up on me so I can catch that mug in a wrist lock and then choke it out. Because I look real dope. I choke out that kind of pig. But so I'll deal with both next week. The answer may surprise you. Okay, so it may not surprise you. Because
I think it's gonna surprise many people.
Yeah,
they never know where you're coming from, Bob. They never know where you're coming from. You still get me shit.
So yeah, but you got to do something. I mean, shit.
Sure said, Baba, please don't ever rap that song again.
Well, right, I mean, I just did the hook. If I did the song, y'all be like, oh my God. But I mean, the song was hilarious to me. You know, I'm sure the people who she had the pictures up on them and stuff, they didn't find it hilarious.
Right.
She had rappers, politicians, actors, all kinds of people in the video. And
the music business is definitely not the place to flex alone.
No, not alone. No.
Listen very fast. It's all gangsters and Police. That's the only thing in the music
The
business.
Wu-Tang Clan was stronger than the Wu-Tang Clan. It was 350 of them, even though you only saw like 10 performing.
Exactly. That's the only reason they can move like they move. Same thing with DMX and them.
Right, exactly.
The Rough Riders is in every state almost in America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, see, that means something. People thinking just the rappers, that's the face.
Yeah, but all them every big group that you love, even BDP, Boogie Down Productions, they ran as a big crew.
Right, exactly.
You had to have that back then. You still have to have that.
Right, right. Because it comes down to unity.
Back to unity. Back to unity.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into it.
Top 5 dead alive.
That was a goose, y'all. Excuse the sounds and
Baba got golden geese, all that.
yeah. I live in nature, so we got geese, herons, ducks, all kinds of fish out here. They decide they're gonna act up right now.
And look, it's okay. Y'all can put in the chat your ways that you non-warrior on your off warrior time. You know what I'm saying? Put yours down there too. We want to hear from you.
Bruce Lee said, "Fighting without fighting, fighting without fighting."
Right.
Worrying without worrying. Okay?
He was pronouncing without pronouncing when he said that.
yeah, right. and just so y'all know, Bruce Lee talking like that. Bruce Lee was born in Seattle, Washington, so I kind of doubt he actually sounded like he was sounding.
Yeah, he didn't really talk that. I think he kind of maybe
fighting without fighting. Because when you hear him, when you hear him talk about water can crash. He can be water, my friend. He doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, when he on that show, and I ain't gonna lie, I love when they say, "How good are you, Bruce?" And he said, "Well, if I tell you, I'm gonna say I'm okay. I'm gonna say I'm really good." Because if I say I'm really good, you say, "Oh, he's boasting." But if I say I'm no good, you know I'm lying. I love when he said that. He sounded like a real American.
Right.
He just like one of my friends from the Bronx that's been in Wilmington, North Carolina for 37 years, and he's 45. Like, come on, man. You can't be talking like this all day.
Right.
You ain't gonna believe that, B. You've been here too long, but he's still
now. On the other end, I got a friend. We're gonna get to it. Well, not a friend. It's his brother I know, who says he's from Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. So I introduced me. I said, "Tell him where you from." "Yo, I'm from Mississippi." I'm like, "Dude, you from the Bronx or something? What are you talking about?" I'm from Mississippi. I'm like, nobody from Mississippi. My family from there. They don't sound like that. Yo, son.
He was watching too much Rap City growing up. Rap City took over his life.
Right. In the 90s, people popping up from New York.
Yeah.
All over, especially the South.
He stood in the mirror saying Rakim lyrics way too long. All right, let's get
All right, y'all. So we're gonna get into it. These are the top 5 warrior things. Top 5 things warriors like to do besides busting fools' head to the white meat, making whoopie. I think that's everybody's favorite, warrior or not, or a lot of people's. And that's about it. And
exercising,
drinking and cooning. So
I'm not gonna lie, Bob. I really thought that was gonna make top 5.
What, drinking and cooning?
Just cutting the food. Warriors play.
Well, shit. That's our thing. I think that's just overall arching. No matter what you're doing in the top 5, you're gonna be cutting the food.
Yeah. If you us, you got to.
Yeah, exactly.
And that definitely prepares you because it toughens your shell up. You got to be tough to be able to take these. We clown you.
Yes,
we do clown each other.
And I always tell people, if you get mad because we clowning you, we're just gonna clown you even more.
That's where I'm from. I'm from a place where you don't say nothing when a person make a joke. They notice you ain't laugh.
Right.
Oh, we got you.
You mad? Like you got.
And on that too, I'll say in the women's workshops that Baba has done, he always kind of teaches you to, especially when someone's trying to be confrontational with you, to kind of play it off, find a way that you can make a joke about it. find a way to constantly, make sure that you're making light of it so that you don't seem like, the person who's not laughing when somebody makes a joke. Right. Because, you still have the advantage then. But if you let them take you emotionally.
Right. They know where you at.
Exactly.
It was this guy who was coming at me hard. And I knew it was going to end up physical. And so he's coming real hard. People look, oh, we don't know what he meant, all that kind of stuff. And I let him go on. I said, man, bro, what's wrong? You got gas? Everybody was laughing. And that's when I knew I had him because he was like kind of shaking. He was so mad. I said, I got him. If he makes this move, I got him. But he didn't make the move.
He knew you had his head fucked. He was like,
he in my head. He was like, man, F you, and walked off his job, right? And then I was praying. I said, I hope when he walk off, he just poop. So he just proved my time. So I'm sitting there, giggling to myself, as he walks off. And they're like, boy, you crazy. I said, man, I got the result I wanted. He out. I ain't have to goddamn get hurt. He ain't had to get hurt.
Well, I just want to ask you this real before we can jump into this. Do you think that you would? I'm assuming what I'm about to say. First of all, if you didn't crack yourself up, do you think you would have gotten to a lot more shit with people? If you didn't make yourself laugh sometime about shit going on?
Probably.
But you got into a lot of shit at the same time.
Yeah, most stuff I got into.
That was when you was young.
It was people that it was me wilding, and also people who actually had most of my encounters physical when I was younger in my life was people who actually had, I believe, some kind of psychological issue.
Yeah, it was.
Because most people they know, okay, this dude not afraid. They start counting consequences, and they don't. So the people I got into it with weren't counting consequences.
Even now, since I've known you, the people who kind of and the stories you tell, we all be like, what was he thinking? Even when a student may try something crazy, like something wrong with this movie. I get what you're saying. I never thought about that.
One student, I was other instructors were coming to me to teach, and they didn't want people to know, so they didn't want even my students to know because they didn't want the public to know they're getting taught by another instructor. And they certainly didn't want their master teachers to know or whatever it is, right? So I told my student he had to leave. It was these 3 instructors taking lessons. I won't say what art they were doing, taking lessons from me privately. Now, their instructor ended up finding out from somebody. He would come and watch through the window. I invite him in. No, that kind of thing, right? So I eventually told them they couldn't come. And my policy now is if you are the student of another instructor, you have to send me a letter or something because I don't want to make an enemy of one of these instructors or disrespect them, So I told my student he had to leave. He said he wasn't going to leave. I'm like, what? And I'm thinking he's playing. I said, boy, you'll leave either walking on your feet or on the stretcher. And he said, I'm not going nowhere, and attacks me. He tries to do a single leg or a double leg on me. I said, is he serious? So he went for the double leg. I let him. I was just like this. He did the double leg, and as he's taking me down, I looked at one of my students. I said, I'm going to break his ribs. So I said it out loud. He has a chance not to let me go. And so he, boom, slams me down, and I lock him between my legs. That's called the guard position, right? And then I squeeze with my knees. I lock his head against my chest. I squeeze with my knees, lift my hips, and I hear that crack. And he screams against my chest. I said, I got him. I'm still holding him. And then I let him go, rolled him off me. They called the ambulance. He left on a stretcher. I told him.
Crazy.
Well, gurney, really. But I told him.
Yes, he tried to attack the master manifesto.
And I put him out to school. For 2 years. he asked to come back because he was like, I want to teach my people, certain folks. He said, and they're out here in the street and they need to learn. And he was crying on the phone, and I felt him. I knew he was serious, and so that's the only person I've ever put out the school I ever let back.
Wow.
And so, well, yeah, that's it. So that I actually put out. Now people can leave and come back, but that I put you out. That's rare anyway. I put you out. That's rare for me.
Right. You haven't seen that a couple times.
So he came back and a second person. I put a person out down here. I let him come back. I put him out. So that person, I put the person down here out, and y'all have heard about that person. Y'all know the person because he came in with a camera to film. I said, no, son, you can't film class. What I'm teaching right now, you can't. He said, okay. He puts the camera on the bench. And I paid attention. I said, the camera's still on? I said, man, get the camera and get the fuck out of here, man. Get your camera and get out of here. Okay. He leaves. And he came back a couple years ago. You know, him and his daughter. He became a vegan. He's now initiated to Ifatu. not he ain't from England or New York. It's not him. But his brother, I think he is from New York. Does music, but not rap.
Oh.
Jamaican. All right. So anyway.
I feel like he was talking to you for some reason.
I don't know. I just know.
I feel like he was about to say your folks.
I tell you after y'all will know. So I'm sure. That's terrible. They don't even remember the brother.
I think I know who you're talking about because I think they was in anyway. Yeah. I think I know who you're talking about. I think we just talked about him not too long ago. Mentioned them. I mean,
now, I manifesto said, "Oh Lord, the boa constrictor grip." Yes. So I manifesto he wanted back after the rib crack. He attacked me. I manifesto. So you know, I guess he figured, hey,
he lost his mind.
He acted like he wanted it, and he got it.
Then he said, "This is where I need to be." Somebody, you know.
And this is a brother who's put in work with me before, so he knows I really do it. That's the odd. It wasn't like I'm a test. I don't know if Bob really, would hurt somebody if they attack him.
Yeah, sometimes it be that. Maybe it's that ignorant, like dumb jock type mentality.
Yeah, but that wasn't him because he was a jock, but actually he was a brilliant 2 master's degree. He was a smart dude too. But
I'm just talking about that ego side. Was like, I'm gonna give him the see what he gonna do if I, you know what I mean?
He might talk about that to this day. That's my point. He's seen me put in work.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So I put in work with me. So it wasn't like I was gonna take it easy either. Because I've seen him put in work.
So maybe he got blood sugar. His sugar was low. He ain't never tell you. I'm just saying he ain't never tell you he had that issue, and you ain't know.
I didn't even see, and I didn't even have the empathy for him. Goddamn, you should let me know.
He ain't never want to tell nobody. That was the problem that day right there.
He should let me know. Then I would have just said, okay, then, please leave. Gave him a candy bar. Raise his sugar level.
You taught him well. He keep him with him now. He keep candy bars like a utility Batman belt now. They be everywhere. All right, here we go. Thank you for bearing with us as we cut the food, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
We will now talk about the 5.
Now, if y'all don't know, for those that I knew, we do always have plans, but we will go off the rails. You can hire us to be no train conductors. We're gonna go off the rails, and that's purposeful too. But all right, we're ready.
Because it's a good time for people to be able to ask questions if they want to. A lot of times they chime in with questions. Right. So it's impromptu.
And it's real life. It's never gonna go exactly how you want it to go, how you planned it to go out there. It can go how you want it to go, but it may not go how you planned it.
And this is how we do class, by the way.
Yeah.
So you know. So all right.
No pop locking in class, though.
Yes. And if you can't pop lock in class, get your ass out of here.
Get your ass
out of here. You better take a pop locking class or something before you come to our class. Now go ahead.
Top 5 warrior things without warrioring. Number 1, for me and for us on the list for the warriors, will be watching movies that focus on strategy. Now, this can also be a TV series. It can be anime. You know, I just posted that little clip of Wilder when he said, "To this day," you know, that little clip everybody used. And I got people ask me, "Do you still watch anime?" And they got to say, "To this day, I still watch anime. I sure do." And some of the best strategies, shows on strategies, may be anime. Some of them you can find some really good anime wars. Movies and shorts and all type of things, but so yeah, that's one of the number 1 ways.
If you all want a good movie to
talk
watch,
about it. I'm always looking
for Battle of Algiers.
Is
a great movie. If you have not seen the Battle of Algiers,
wait a minute, I know what that is. We saw that before, didn't we? See that?
Yeah, we all watched it at the library that time. Remember?
Oh, right. That was, and I don't. I'm new. I'm modern. I don't really like a lot of black and white movies. To be honest with you, I don't. That was a great movie. It was a great movie. It really was great. Even if you ain't watching it for no strategy, none of that shit. You just watching the movie. Yeah. I haven't seen a movie like that specifically. It seems like that could be the base for a lot of other movies too. Great movie.
Battle of Algiers is essential. Dr. Ball, greetings, Dr. Ball. Battle of Algiers is essential. What's up, Warrior Fam? Greetings, peace. Yeah. So that movie, I would say I'm more into television series than movies to recommend, but that one I would recommend.
And I was gonna say, I think the point of that, you know, other than of course the sort of entertainment factor and the fact that it has you looking and thinking about strategy, is that when you see something on the screen, whether it's a big screen, small screen, you get the sound, you get the vision, it kind of captures your imagination. So it puts you in a different place than just thinking about strategy. Well, you actually are able to visualize it.
When we dealt with the zombie apocalypse last week, you know, we were talking about how people are when you watch movies, television, the mind, and when we deal with fiction, I'll talk about that more, but the mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality.
Right.
So when you watch these things, that's why also be careful what you're watching too. It pulls you into that. So you really both sides, right? The antagonist side and the protagonist side. So you are pulled into these things, and whichever side you associate with, that becomes real, like you're there.
Yeah.
So it even buffers your training because of that, right? It's like you're in some kind of combat simulation or whatever it is, right?
Right.
Now, as far as television shows, and I use this to teach my daughter some lessons the other day. House of the Dragon, which is the prequel of Game of Thrones. Yes, House of the Dragon, the strategy wise, and really my thing was wrapped around the sea snake, which is this brother who is the greatest sailor in the Seven Kingdoms, right? And his family, and talking about family legitimacy and things of that nature.
Right.
That was what resonated with me more than anything in that, you know, and who deserves to lead and not, and you know what's moral, what's good and what's right, because the Green Queen that thought, you know, she's doing right, but are you doing right when you snatch the birthright from somebody?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all of that, I was teaching her lessons on that, right? So for me, that was a good one. Catch a Fire, Dr. Ball said, until the very end, yes, is deep too. Yes, Catch a Fire is good. The Grand Illusion, I don't think I've seen. Have y'all seen that? I'm gonna have to watch that.
No, I haven't seen
the Grand Illusion.
Definitely gonna watch that.
For anime, I have to say Attack on Titan is a great great anime TV series that deals with strategy and a bunch of other things.
Attack on Titan is good. Now, I'm trying to see Wretched of the Earth, narrated by Lauryn Hill, but it's not available in the U.S. I've read the book. I've never. That's interesting. A movie. All right. So, all right. You ready for the next one?
Yes. Moving right along. The next one is
number two.
Number two, excuse me, is to stay informed on health issues. And I apologize that I was late today. I have a lot going on right now. But one thing that I plan to start incorporating into our current events and our news that we do at the Open is to bring up issues about health, articles that I read about health, and do more research on some of the articles as well. Because health and medicine is one of the ways that we're being made war upon, or that they're making war on us, and it's a very old thing. But we have to look at being warriors, and that's the kind of thing, that's the reason really for this particular topic, is being a warrior is holistic. It's not just having weapons or tools. It's not just fighting. It's about the whole world around you. So, if you have a stockpile of weapons or guns, but you can't run a mile, or, you're not going to make it if anything falls down for a month because you're on all these different medications, then, what are you really doing? So a couple of the things that I wanted to bring up that I saw recently, since we are talking about this, is I'm seeing more and more articles, and I'm sure everyone's seeing more and more articles about these the repercussions of taking all these different vaccinations. That's not something that I want to get heavy into, but if it's making it to just like NBC or in the public news, then that's a real concern, because so many people have gone out and gotten these shots and then gotten more shots and then gotten more shots on top of that. And it's something that, we really should be taking seriously and thinking about.
Heavy metal detox is something you may want to look into if you're having some complications due to taking extreme vaccinations.
Right. And another thing that I've seen recently, which I think affects so many people that, people don't even think about, is the fact that we eat out so much. Now, first of all, we know that even if you're eating more processed food, you're going to have a healthier diet if you're at least cooking at home, even if you're cooking that stuff at home. But what I saw recently was that there is actually a study that talks about the soap that they use in industrial dishwashers. That's if you're staying at a hotel, if you go to a restaurant, any of those big dishwashers, the soap that they use inside of them contains a chemical that messes with your gut bacteria. And that's a really serious thing, because your digestion is, really the main part of your immune system. But if you're doing things on a regular basis that's throwing off your gut bacteria, that's going to affect your overall health so much more adversely, and so, these plates that we're eating off of, you thinking about the food, and you should be thinking about the food, but even the soap that they're washing the plates with, the fork that you're eating off of is compromising your health. So, it's something that we need to think about. If we train for survival scenarios, you should know how to be able to prepare food. If you're out all the time buying food from someone else, first of all, you don't know what they're putting in it. But also, you don't know how to make food, and you're making yourself vulnerable if you put yourself in that position. So again, number 2 is staying informed on health.
And one thing as far as being informed on health with warriors, one of the best ways to defeat an army, or at least part of an army, is to destroy its food coffers. That does several things. One, you're starving, you don't have the energy to fight. But 2, it drops morale incredibly. We don't realize how much having a mental and emotional attachment we have to food.
Right.
And so you destroy a person's ability to eat. You destroy their will. You break their will. And most torture techniques, done by the army at least, are linked to food. So you don't have to like the cutting off the yanking out fingernails and all that. That's done maybe, but that's not the major way. You yank out somebody's fingernails, that's yanked out. And they say, damn, they jacked me up. You only got 10 times to do that. Right. But you got every day to mess with somebody about food until they expire, right? Because even once you snatch these out, they're going to grow back. You cut the tip of a person's finger off, well, that's gone. If your torture technique doesn't work, plus cutting off their finger is not torture. That's TV, right? The fear of getting your finger cut off is torture. If I say to you, man, you talking all that jive, grab your tongue, cut your tongue off, it's gone. If I say, you know, you talking all that jive, pull his tongue out of his mouth. And they pull it, and I'm walking over with a knife, and I'm tapping the knife in my palm as I get close, and I'm talking to you about people losing their tongue if they talk too much. That is torture. But if I cut your tongue off, I can't use that. I don't have currency to use against you. Y'all got me?
Yeah.
So health is with food and other things, but it doesn't just affect you physically. Anything that affects you physically also affects you mentally.
Okay. Yeah, Bob. Absolutely.
Oh, let me see. Somebody asked real quick about before you go to the next one, Ominiki. Comrade Kwame says some of the most renowned warrior texts, like the Art of War or the Five Rings, that's a book of Five Rings, all conclude that a true warrior is one who doesn't have to fight. Well, not a fight. Fight is an agreement between
right.
people,
Yeah.
but and war often isn't even a fight because one side didn't agree, like let's fight, and they have a war. One side strikes the other, and then that leads to war. The other side decides we're going to strike back, and then it's, but in these people like Sun Tzu or Miyamoto Musashi, who wrote, so Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, Miyamoto Musashi is credited as doing the Book of Five Rings. These are people who kill masses of people.
Right.
So it's almost a finger to you, them saying a true warrior is one who doesn't have to fight.
Yeah, he had to fight. He had a bunch of warriors fighting for him.
Right. Now, Sun Tzu did. He was a general, but Miyamoto Musashi was killing folk. The whole thing is you pray you never have to. I loathe violence. I always say I'm just good at it. You pray you never have to be involved or engage in combat. But if you are a battlefield warrior like them, you're in that.
Right.
So when people, that's no break on you, Comrade Kwame. I just want to let people know when you these people saying that. These are people who done killed a bunch of folks. They're in the military. They weren't just some wandering warrior or something.
Right.
Sun Tzu's a general in the Chinese army. Miyamoto Musashi was a samurai, which is a whole organization of the military. They're the elite military for the Japanese army at that time. These are all killers.
Right.
When I was in the military, I could not tell anybody, even my students, the true mark of a warrior is not to fight at all. And they know I'm killing folks.
But you always would say it's funny because I guess what they basically saying is yes, the highest form of self-defense is avoidance.
So
That's
the highest
basically what
form
they
is
say.
avoidance, right? But
Right.
you got to say it in that way because otherwise people get confused.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Wait a minute, you telling me that true marketable warrior is not to fight, but you just went out and killed 10 people.
But yeah, after you killed 10 motherfuckers in front of somebody, yeah, you ain't got to fight no more. You ain't got that. He ain't tell you that part. Everybody
Right.
like, don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with him.
Exactly. That.
You see the fuck he just went to that town and did.
And I would always say that's another form of avoidance.
Right.
High level martial arts is avoidance. So if you ever have to fight, bring your A game. They've heard me say that all the time. I mean, bring your A game. Right. Rip off a person's goddamn face. Now you're avoiding all them other fights.
Right.
Because they said that dude ripped off somebody's face. Right. Cut their head off and wear it as a goddamn hat. Anybody else gonna fight you?
Real shit. That's kind of like if you've ever lived in type of a hood type of environment, neighborhood type of environment, that's what you had to do. You had to do something so everybody knew. I
got into it with a dude once and told him, I'll cut your head off and wear it to a party like a goddamn Apple hat. And he was like, man, you just crazy. Go ahead. That ended the fight. There was no physical violence. Because in the back of his mind, he's like, I know this dude crazy enough to at least try it.
You could think
now,
about
I ain't wearing no dude's hat because one thing I don't like gross shit like that, right? I mean, I don't mind the blood part, but you know, the grossness of his skin is out of my head because I can't cock the hat right.
Stupid.
If I could, it don't fit right.
Number three.
Real quick, what's that dude? What's the dude with the big ass head? The brother with the big ass head. He crying and Jared know who it is. Because he wanted to fight Kalanji. God.
He wanted to fight Kalanji.
Yeah, what's that big head dude?
Roland.
Yeah. So Roland, y'all know who it is. I won't say his last name. Roland's big ass head. I could cock that mug. Clinton. Yeah, I had that mug goddamn broke. Oh my God! Wow. Me and Omaniki could wear his. Me and Omaniki could wear his head.
Leave brother Roland alone.
Oh God! Okay, I'm sorry, Roland. If you watching, I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you, Roland.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So the third thing that we can be doing as warriors, and that we should make a practice of doing every day, is stretching twice. You stretch in the morning, and then you want to stretch in the evening before you get in the bed. I remember, I think it was Belay who had a meme that he put out that said something like, "You're not getting old, you just don't stretch." And I mean, that is so true. Like, I mean, you know, we're so used to saying, you know, I'm too old for this, you know, just describing ourselves as old as we start to gain age. Right. But you don't have to feel bad, you know. And stretching is one of those things that you can do that it will be like night and day. Especially a week, 2 weeks, a month goes by, like you would not believe the benefits of how you will feel once you start stretching. Everyday things, of course, like bending down, getting things, you know, that'll become better. But also things like if you know, people sometimes they just have gas and they think that they're like sick, you know, they think they're having a heart attack, they think they're having like some type of stomach trouble. Stretching will help you with that. If you do the right stretches, it actually helps your digestion.
This is true.
Stretching is a really important thing.
Circulation, digestion, those are the two main things. But what you got to think of, so you stretch at night, you sleep better. Just period. You sleep better, you rest better. And in the morning, you stretch in the morning and you function better during the day. Your your digestive system functions better and your circulatory functions better. You know, if everybody over a certain age that's on this chat, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you ain't moving the same way that you're moving at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and 7 in the morning. Your body is not moving very well. And through the day, it gets warmed up. But if you did some stretching, that would stop all the, I don't mean to take over your, but
I knew you'd talk about
you know, I'm a little older and I really have to do this. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I have to do, or it's going to, so some people, you're going to do little micro injuries all during the day. Those are the things that you don't know how this happened. I'm feeling this and I'm feeling that. I don't know how this and that. You get all that all the time. Well, that comes from the stiffness of being stiff and never really doing anything about it. And then when you go to pick this up, it's a little micro tear. It's a little micro tear here, a little micro. And you don't really, it's almost like when you skin yourself and you don't notice till you get in the shower. It's one of those things. Stretching can help do so much for you. So yeah, I just want to
feel like
there's a systems of
painkillers.
Dr. Scary,
but whatever those
muscle relaxers.
Or I don't want to name the companies, but you know those companies that sell those, pain relievers or whatever all the time. Like you would, you don't know how much of that you would eliminate if you would just start stretching twice a day.
Yep.
Now, Dr. Scary told me years ago, the mark of age is the lack of flexibility. That's the mark of age. That's So she said you increase the flexibility and you actually decrease your age.
Woo. That is powerful. I mean, I hope y'all felt that.
I'm telling you. I take too much ibuprofen. Okay, let's not do that.
That can tear up your immune system, your liver. In fact, they tell you with ibuprofen. They tell you with ibuprofen, if you've had a stroke or heart attack before, you are at risk of a stroke or a heart attack.
Right.
So just know that, Sugar Booger, and anybody else on here, if you take a lot of ibuprofen, it's affecting your liver. And if you've ever had any type of cardiac issue or issue with your brain, you are highly at risk. So be careful.
And if you're on any medication, if you're taking any medication pill form, regularly, you're doing damage to your liver, and you should be doing some type of liver detox. Some type of like what I'm doing right now. I had to take some amoxicillin for my bacteria. I'm about to go to the dentist Sunday, and what dentist is open on Sunday at 6 p.m.? Only Jamaican dentist. Only Jamaican dentist. I love this dude. I love my dentist. I'm sorry. Anyway, but what you do is you get like a dandelion detox or something like that. Is really good if you under any type of medication regularly, because even these vitamins, some of these vitamins that you're taking in the bag got bad casings and stuff, and just bad for your liver. So yeah.
So that really goes hand in hand on making sure you're staying informed on health. Not only making sure you're staying informed, but making sure that you're actually doing something when you find out about these things.
Right.
So.
Oh, and let me take the time to thank you all for the couple people have sent gifts to my wife on behalf of the baby. The registry that posted. Thank you all. And yes, so the baby was born yesterday at 2:15 p.m. So we happy.
Congratulations, Baba.
Thank you. And she's a little beauty. So
another girl.
That's 8 girls, one boy. So it's 9 children. Yeah.
She wasn't super red, was she? I think she was kind of yellow.
No, she's red. In
she's
fact,
red.
Hi, Red. Hey, Red. Yeah, she red.
All right.
All right. Now, playing tabletop role-playing games. It was really, that's number 4. It was not just role-playing games, but board games as well. Right?
Definitely.
That is key, because that helps with a couple of things. with empathy, with working together as a team, creativity. I will say though, people who play role-playing games, now board games not as much. Role-playing games, you got to remember that that's just a game.
Right. Any of these games, you got to remember that. Try to.
Right. Well, yeah, football, these are games. So don't get so like it's just your life. God damn. So now if you are a person selling the games and make a living, well, that's your life. Take it seriously. But for people playing, I mean, I knew a dude went to school with me, man. This is a brother. His character got killed in the game. I was the game master, right? I was the person that like the referee of the game. And his character gets killed in the game, and he wants to fight me. And then he recruited a friend of his who just loved him, so they both gonna fight me. So then one of my friends, I wasn't gonna ask him, but I'm like, okay, I'll handle both your ass. One of my friends, Johnny Hamilton, I'll say his name. Johnny's been reaching out to me a lot lately. Johnny Hamilton said, I got you. He basically just, I said, okay, I'm thinking we both gonna just fight them. He punked both of them, and that ended the shit.
All right, Johnny.
But
everybody want to show you they tough too.
Johnny was real tall and we were like the same size one summer. We come back to school and I'm looking like, man, goddamn, what the hell happened? Johnny all swole and shit, you know.
That's how it be, and especially in high school.
So Johnny punked both of them, and that ended the job. I probably was more dangerous than Johnny physically, but he looked way more dangerous than me. So they went, and you know, Johnny's beautiful jet black and muscular like that. So he looked like he just got down like Shango incarnate or something. He scared the hell out of them. So
that's what's up, Johnny.
They got so serious. Yes, that's what shout out to Johnny Hamilton. They got serious. I mean, you know, you killed my character. Like, man, it's a goddamn make a new one.
Right.
Make a new one. Like, damn. So these are games, y'all, but these are things you can do. Your children can do, you can do, and it will help with strategy and stuff like that, right? I used to use it with my martial students all the time, and they learn martial strategy. Gang chief, this brother, Earl, who was the leader of the Unknown Vice Lords. At the time, he came to me, and he said, I want you to teach the brothers how to play this certain role-playing game that's the most famous role-playing game in the world. And I said, you serious? Yeah, I want you to teach them how to play, because he knew that would increase their strategy. The ability to strategize, to work together, and it worked. And even after I stopped working with them, I did like 3 sessions with them. They continued on. I would hit them in the back. You think they shooting dice or playing dominoes or something? They back there playing role-playing games.
That's real.
And it really helped them with their strategy. So that helps with your strategy, y'all. You just got to remember, so it's helping you with your strategy, but you're playing a game. Just remember that. And the next one we're going to deal with, remember, is a game too.
I was gonna say, as far as games go, just like when you talk about writing and sci-fi and all of that, how people kind of react funny, because they're like, well, how can you be a warrior and be into that at the same time? I think playing games is something that helps you not take yourself as seriously, or that can help your imagination in a way that that other things can't.
Yes, it can. Well, I'll say, that's why I said, remember, it's a game, because people actually do take it more seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what happens is a person that goddamn won't bust a grape in the grocery store, they can be a warrior in this game. And so in their mind, I'm a warrior in this game. And then if their character dies, they mad because that warrior part of themselves died. No, goddamn it, get your ass someplace and train. if it's that serious, but it does allow you to, if you take it right, it allows you to enjoy yourself in a situation where you can do warrior type stuff mentally, but you're enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? And you can train to kill things and stuff in the game, but you ain't actually killing.
Right.
So that it has that value, you know. And I recommend it to anybody. But like all things, even with when you're training in martial arts, don't be so serious. I knew cats were so morose. We did this play, martial arts play, and throughout it was a comedy. I knew when I wrote it, I'm gonna write it's gonna be a comedy. And it was hilarious, right? And people were like, I never, students of other instructors, because I invite all these instructors out and they're worked into the play and they loved it, right? They didn't even know they worked into the play until as we're doing it, and some didn't even catch on what was going on. They thought they were in a real competition. I mean, it's crazy. But they said, martial art comedy, these are high-ranking people been training, they're instructors themselves, but I'm friends with their teachers, right? And I never knew there was martial arts comedy. And this made me look at their teachers differently. Like, damn, we joke together. But the way you teaching your students obviously is like, damn. Right. I never knew there was martial arts. I didn't know we could laugh in the martial arts. They coming to me, not their teacher. They scared to go to them. I said, well, of course we can. Then in the thing, I'm the villain, and this other one beats me, right? And it was hilarious because I beat him down, and then by getting the people to clap and, you know, in the audience together, they're clapping, doom, clap, doom, and stomping. And then he's like, you know, he's knocked out, but then his body, you know, he's throwing up the one, and then he's dancing down from the ground. He dances himself back up and ends up beating my character. Where in the world do you think that's serious? So after he beats me, everybody, you know, clapping and stuff after he says this thing, and this one guy said, "We won the competition." This instructor, and his teacher, you know, snatches him off like, "What's wrong with you?" Because in his mind, he couldn't relax enough to even realize we in a comedy play. Right. He got to announce how they won. They should have won, but they were judged wrong. Like, dude, this was a joke. The whole thing was joking. Like some of the stuff, you know, we were all showing amazing martial arts skill, you know, people breaking stuff. So people really breaking boards, bricks, and doing whatever their demo is in there. My character's a villain. I come in and, you know, first I actually break like 3 stacked bricks, right? And then I said, you know, stack up 20 of them. It was something crazy, right? So you stack up. We all baked those bricks so they would crumble if you just flick them, right? So got the stack of these baked brittle bricks up there. And I say, you know, I break these bricks. You know, this is nothing for the students at my school or something. I, you know, lay my hand on the bricks, they just crumble. And I ain't even like, you know, people concentrating on how to break the bricks. And some of the students looking like, oh my God, damn, he's powerful. Like, this is all a joke. They couldn't catch it was a joke. If you're training to defend people, it ain't got to be your people, but defend people, yourself and your family or whatever, and you're training and your shit's so serious that you can't step outside, you're easily defeated. Because the defeat doesn't happen here. The defeat happens here. Yeah, well, you're easily defeated. And you're not prepared at this time, if you are that serious about things, to defend shit. I gotta tell you, that's the truth of that. You may think you are, but somebody will easily beat you. Like when I told the dude, "What, did you pass gas?" You would get so upset by that. You will open up things for somebody to take advantage of you. Don't take stuff so seriously. Like, golly, learn to laugh, learn to see things as they are and as you want them to be. They are as you want them to be. You want it one way, but it's the other way. And always be prepared to flow into that. But if you're so serious, you're going to be so linear, you can't flow this way. Because this is the right way. This is the way it's got to be. And then somebody just tilts you off to the side right here. It's easy to get that ass, boy. Trust me on that. It's easy to get you. If I find I got you this serious and you this, and it's just this way, and it's just like, which is anti-African, by the way. It's just this way. It's just like this. I just tilt you a little bit, and you're lost.
I was thinking about that before the show. I was like, well, you know, I think as warriors, you got to make sure your ways are open, that you're always thinking openly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can
always. Just, you know, I'm going to say take everything in stride because some shit just upsets you.
Right.
But when it upsets you, try not to show everybody that you're upset about it. Right. I've been upset by things on here. I ain't talking about just checking fools. Half the time they don't upset me. It's necessary to check a fool. But like certain things we see or hear about, that upsets me so bad, man, that I'll be like, but I can't show it. Right. Shit make you want to cry, make you want to, you know, can't show that to everybody. Okay. Something went on, something all right? Everything all right?
No, we're just making sure the time is right. You know, she gotta exit out in a little bit, but we about at the end anyway, so I was just telling let me know. So for the last one, number 5, is basically everything Baba was saying is chess. It's giving you some of the same benefits, or most of the same benefits as role playing games,
and watching movies on strategy.
Right. It's along the lines of everything we've been talking about, except for the stretching. Except for stretching your mind. Mentally stretching. It's really, you really learn how to again, strategize is the key big thing, but also you have to be able to compartmentalize different things going on in the game, and you got to be able to balance, and you got to be able to make those general calls as a general. Then you got to put yourself as a soldier. So you put your strategy on different levels, and you got to be you got to be aware of the mental state of your opponent. You know, you got to know your opponent. Some opponents I know, he ain't gonna try to take my queen or he can't play without his queen. Like different people got different mentalities. So knowing you can really get it. It's a really competitive game. And but it's just a game. It's not gonna. You ain't gonna be able to play. Your chess master don't mean you can go out there and wage war and know how to do it just because you know how to play chess good. And that's a problem that some people think.
Well, you have to learn what those pieces. So every piece, it has its place. It has its lane.
Right.
Don't step outside that lane. A pawn can't do what a bishop or a knight or the queen can do.
Right.
So, and pawns don't become. That's another thing. That pawns don't become bishops. Pawns don't become queens. Pawns don't become knights.
Pawns become queens. I'm sorry.
No, this ain't checkers. This chess. Pawns don't become anything but a pawn. That's not saying the low life can't become leaders. What it's saying is, if you know you just came into an organization, don't try to not be the leader of that organization. It doesn't matter what your degrees are, how long you've been doing a thing, but it also means if you're a queen, don't try to be a pawn either.
Right.
If, say, Dr. Ball walks into an elementary school and they say, hey, the teacher's sick. This ain't going to happen, but teacher's sick. Could you take the class? Dr. Ball is not going to teach the 6th grade English like that 6th grade teacher was going to teach 6th grade English. One, he's going to teach at a different level, but his degree ain't in English. So he may teach at a different level, but it may not be as effective for English. Y'all understand me?
For children.
If you bring me in to teach a class on baking, I can teach the class. But you may not want to feed that goddamn cake to nobody. Just because I can teach well does not mean I can teach to bake a cake. So queen can't be a pawn can't be a queen, right? That's not talking about your rank, it's talking about your lane. Because I don't see the queen is more important than the pawn either.
Right.
The pawn is just what it was sought to be named. But if we use military names and you call a pawn a sergeant, believe me, a sergeant in the Army, and that's any rank of sergeant from E5 to E10, which is a command sergeant major, knows more than the queen, which would be like a general. Trust me, if we were on the battlefield, that is, not administratively.
Yeah, definitely.
If we're on the battlefield, I trust my life in the hands of somebody that's a sergeant than a general.
Right.
So, it depends
Welcome, Sugar Boost. Appreciate
it depends
you.
on where you at. So also don't look at the queen is better. The queen just got a different job. That's all. Because to win the game, you need all of them.
Right.
Yeah,
So
you're right. On that note, excuse me, Baba. I apologize, family, but I have to take off for the day. I'll see y'all next week on our next warrior class.
All right.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you, Ominiki. Thank you for
blessing
coming
us
on
with your presence, with your warrior's presence.
Now, I'm trying to see. Normally, we've been there an hour and a half. Wow.
Yeah, not that long.
We're making good time.
Yeah.
Any questions? Any questions y'all have? I manifesto say can't stand folks who take games so seriously. Yeah, man, it's a game, and that's from role playing games, football. It's all games. It's people get upset. Now, if you betting on the games, hey, I can understand, but Jesus,
right?
I watched one time we all got together and we watched the fight at Akin Boblar's house. And there was a Brazilian who was fighting. I forget the two fighters, and I'm doing the commentary. I just started doing the commentary like I'm a Brazilian commentator. We having fun. We still watching the nobody. Quiet. I gotta see the punch he gonna make. We still enjoying it. Now when it came to the championship fight, and we're in the the championship fight was ridiculous. If we'd just been sitting there quietly watching, we're in there joking. We're in the fight, but we're joking at it. It was Brock Lesnar against somebody, and it was hilarious because Brock Lesnar was getting his ass whooped. Everybody thought Brock Lesnar, because he's a big giant dude, was gonna just dominate, but he was getting his ass whooped. I'm trying to remember who it was he was fighting, but he's a heavyweight, of course. He's fighting another heavyweight. They tore that behind up, and it was hilarious. So you can't taking this shit so seriously, man. But if you want to just be a serious dude, that's cool. We know there's places for you.
Learn to relax.
On the battlefield, there's places for you, but it's not. And there's time to be serious, straight up serious too, by the way. But in class with us, I've never seen it. Probably does, but I've never seen it just turn somebody off that we joking.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I have. So there was this brother. His footwork was so erratic. I said, "God damn, you moving like Jesse Glover. What's his name? The tap dancer.
Right.
No,
I can't.
Savion Glover.
Savion Glover.
Damn, you like Savion Glover, right?" And everybody laughing. I looked at his face. I said, "He didn't appreciate that." It's your footwork, dude. It's gonna get better. Stick with me. It's gonna get better. But part of making you better is messing with you too, because I'm not just dealing with your feet,
right?
Dealing with your head, your mindset, right? So he stopped coming after that. And I was cool with that because they ain't gonna change how we operate,
right? And if you can't take that, you're not.
You can't take that. You can't take shit out here. Somebody they're gonna call you all kinds of stuff,
right?
And you gonna let that throw you off your square?
Exactly.
Now I'm so mad, I'm fuming. I'm thinking about how mad I am that I get cracked in the jaw.
He wasn't ready.
So no, he wasn't. He definitely wasn't ready, because part of being ready is ready to change the way your mind operates. And some people do get surprised though when they see like you all clown me. They don't understand that how they clowning the teacher, because the teacher better be ready to defend his goddamn self.
Right.
And so he can't be just tilted, or you better respect me. I better earn that respect.
Right. You already know we respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn, because my respect better come from being on that mat.
Right.
And if you can't work on that mat, get off the mat. It's okay. We still love you, but this ain't your place.
Right. Clowning just about a sense of humor. Ain't about respect or nothing like that.
Right,
it's just
right.
about a sense of humor.
It's and you so big you can't get clown. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it. I used to clown my father, my mother. They gonna clown me. So I clown back. My children clown me. I clown them. That's the way it is, man. Because I don't want them to feel like I'm walking through and they got their head down and shit, scared of me. That is ridiculous. We're a family. We're supposed to love each other, right? So we got to associate with each other.
Baba, my daughter called me yesterday. She was like, "Can I get $15? We all out. I'm out with my friends and we eat. We about to go get something to eat." I was like, "You in the car right now or something?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All your friends around?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Put me on the speakerphone and say your dad is the greatest, or let me say I'm the greatest father, and none of you have fathers as good as me." She was like, she said, I was like, "No, I'm just playing by it." She was like, I'm always messing with my daughter, man. I'm always messing with her. And you can't take yourself too serious. That's the one thing that relieved me when I went into class and I saw that Baba wasn't uptight, taking himself serious. And, you know what I'm saying? It relaxes the environment. We are actually training to remove motherfuckers from this planet if need be. And, that's a lot on your mind. It could be if you was all uptight and serious and Bob was like, when you break his neck, when you snap his neck right here, I want to, kill him, say kill. Right.
Cobra Kai or something.
You know what I'm saying? It would be very stressful, high-tense situation, but that's not what we're doing.
And I know cats like that, man. I know martial artists like that.
Yeah.
My friends are not like that. My friends who are martial artists.
Right. And people
the ones like that I don't hang with, dude. I respect.
People think we be like, people have this false. I tell you, the number one thing we get is, man, I bet you wish. And that's not the mentality that we go. I don't ever walk around in a room full of people saying, boy, I wish one of these motherfuckers. That's crazy.
A dude introduced me one time and he said, when Balogun enters a room, he counts how many people in there he could kill. And I'm like, no, excuse me. No, I do not do that. I'm not walking. Yeah, I kill him like this, him like this. He can catch this knife right here in the throat. Like, no, I don't think like that.
No.
Because if you thinking like that, that's how you get caught. Somebody give you something you ain't expecting.
There you go.
No, I do not. Or we always get this one as martial artists. You a martial artist? You've been doing? Oh, I don't want to make you mad. And I'm not a psychopath, dude. I'm a martial artist. I'm not a sociopath. I'm not going, So no, you good. That kind of thing, I don't even know how that came about. I think from movies and really from dudes that I do know like that. I know a lot of martial artists across the country, around the world, but across this country, in a certain state, I won't even name the state, but man, they so damn serious.
My battery.
They take themselves so seriously. And I was like, dude, get your ass out of here, man. You ain't even that good like you think you are. You ain't that good. You're going off a reputation.
Right.
And for me, martial artists cannot work solely off no reputation, because you better be able to uphold that reputation. And I can tell almost immediately if a mug can uphold the reputation I've heard about this person. I'm like, man, get out of here. Mm-hmm. I shake this dude's hand to tell he's not ready for what he think he's ready for. Right. Now, there's one dude, I shook his hand. He raised his elbow. It was hilarious. He raised his elbow. I know where that comes from. He's taught you shake a person's hand, you raise the elbow. Now they can't wrist lock you. Mm-hmm. That's wrong. The closer your arm is to your body, the stronger you are. Just so you all know, if my arm is further away, and you can test that yourself, you're weaker. Hold something heavy in your hand and hold it away from your body. Hold your elbow away, and it's heavier. Bring that closer. You can hold it longer.
Right.
The closer your elbow, but he raised his elbow, and I would laugh. I'd put my hand on his elbow, and hug the dude, saying to myself, dude, this lets me be able to push your elbow, push your arm behind your back, and then hug you to me, and still locking the shit out of your shoulder. And I dislocate the shoulder from here. Mm-hmm. I don't just have to be beside you to dislocate your shoulder, which he's seen me do. Right. So for me, it was funny, but at least he was trying something.
Right.
At least he was trying something, but but he had a reputation down here being that dude. Mm. Reputation being that dude. I remember my wife's uncle trains with him. Been training with him for years. And he said to her one time, why you train with your husband and not with so-and-so? And she said, because my husband would tear so-and-so's ass apart. And he said, well, you're saying that because that's your husband. So I said, invite the uncle. I won't say his name either, because if people watching, they'll know who I'm talking about. Martial arts I'm talking about. I said, invite your uncle to class. She invited him to class. He saw me and Akinbobola working. I took Akinbobola back. I lifted him up in for a double leg takedown. Boom! Went down with him, right? And he was like, oh, y'all doing it like this in the class? Y'all doing I said, come on the mat. And I wasn't gonna hurt him, I'm just gonna work with him. He's like, no, I'm fine. And he was like, oh, I see what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But they're not doing that in their school, right? The brother, his teacher. I love him, but that's the one who lifted his elbow, and so he has this reputation. Now with him, he's not working off that reputation. Like say I'm this, or he doesn't operate like that, but some people do. When you all say certain things about me, I'm uncomfortable. So I'm like, shit, don't put that shit out about me. That's forced me to live up to it. I try to live up to what has been said, but we all got to be careful out here. As instructors, your students, they love you. They are going to say certain things. You best be able to live up to what's being said about you. Because if you can't, just sit down. the day I can't, trust me, the day I can't live up to what is said about me, I'll be sitting down, sipping on this deck right here, sipping mint juleps. And y'all say, hey, the revolution's happening. I say, cheers. I hope you win. Sipping mint juleps. They say, hey, them folk coming to your house. I was like, son, get ready.
I heard that.
You know, I hope that day never comes, but damn.
May it never. And if it do, maybe we'll be prepared to handle it.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. All right. If any questions?
I want to say we appreciate y'all for sticking in, being on the chat. We got a good numbers, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this with anybody. You know, a lot of people suffer from, you know, different things, depression, not being able to unwind and all type of things. So, you know, this could help different people who may have these issues.
Yeah, you know, use that list to help y'all relax.
Google Eugene Mason.
And know when you're training for serious shit, you got to relax. You ain't got to be laughing and joking and stuff. That may not be your style, but definitely relax. That should be everybody's style.
Have an outlet. You don't have to be clowning. If you don't clown, you just don't clown. But have an outlet. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying we'll clown you when you come to class, that's serious. That's our character. But if that's not your character, it ain't gotta be your character. I told Akin Boba like years ago. He's a master instructor now, but I told him, look, when he became a full instructor, you're gonna teach, but you don't have to. You're not a person that's just joking all the time like that, like I am. You don't have to do that because you do it, they just say he's just copying Baba. Use your personality, and he's good at that.
Yeah, right? He found him.
Right. Use your personality, and you do that. Like there was some things, you know, I wouldn't be in class and he do the whole class just exercising. But that ain't how you do it. But I had to let that happen so he could learn himself. And then I knew eventually he'd come to the balance that he needed.
Right.
Right. So, you know, he's where he's at. It's about you being where you're going to be at. Don't let, you know, nobody tell you got to be like this and that. That's taking your freedom away. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you're a person that's always serious, like I said, there's a place beside me on the battlefield. I respect that. Just, I know for me, if I take somebody's life, I'm not being disrespectful if I'm telling a joke a few minutes later. I'm helping my own mind.
Right.
So I don't lose my mind, man. So, and that works for everybody I know who has put in that kind of work for the military or whatever it may be, you know. So just if you have to do that kind of work, just remember that from me, that it can help if you don't take it too seriously. Not you take that seriously, but if you don't take everything else or just take that weight on yourself where it's just eating you up and I had to do so and so, just eating you away, and you know, you know, your mind is important. Anything else? If not, let me see, how much time do we have? Wow, this is the first time I think we've ever ended or came close to ending where we got, you know, time left.
Right. Well, we the ones made it where we got to go to 3:00. Nobody told us that. We just that's just our thing. All of a sudden, we got to go to 3.
Got to go to 3. Yeah, that's true. In fact, when we started, I think the idea was an hour, and we just knew that wasn't going to be enough time.
Yeah, after the first show, we was like, okay, we ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna be able to do that.
We ain't gonna be able to do it.
I never try to shoot for 3. I just go. Usually, we try to cut by 3.
Right, it just happens.
Yeah, it just happens. So this was a short. Compact.
Eugene Mason said, "What is a mint julep?"
I told him to Google it. I ain't even say you was talking. I said, "Google that, man. Just Google that one." Yeah, it's a drink.
It's a drink, alcoholic drink that
popular by slave owners.
Yeah, popular in the South. The slave owners be drinking the mint julep while we toiling in the fields.
Exactly. Much respect back to you, and we appreciate you attending this session.
Yes.
Al Colon.
Ali Cologne. Yes.
Ali, I didn't see the other.
Ali Cologne, Shabaka, Sugar Booger 7, G-Way, I Manifesto.
G-Way. I'm from
I saw Shirley in here.
Yeah, I saw Shirley, 40J Blaze, the
40J
Spider-Man.
Blaze. Yep, the Spider-Man, Bobby Ologun. Shoot.
Okay. Comrade Kwame. We appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah. And all our folks everywhere. Neo, Ekwueme. Better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah. And everybody that's watching is not in the chat.
Better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Absolutely. If you're a gardener in a war, it's only going to be the blessings of the heavens that you live.
I'm telling you. Telling you.
That's it. Shoot them. No, I'm planting this rose right now. Shh.
You better hope you got a lot of hoes you can trade with somebody.
They got a lot of hoes. I don't know.
Garden hose, rakes, whatever you got.
I would say that's a different kind of job right there. You got a lot of hoes.
Y'all be safe, man. Be mentally strong.
Y'all be safe out here. I don't do alcohol. All right, Eugene, get you a non-alcoholic mint julep.
Thank you, Eugene. That means a lot. Best show on YouTube, man. We really appreciate that. Really, that means a lot to us. So even if you're lying, shit, we like it. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Oh man, thank you so much.
Start implementing some stuff. This is the beginning of the year. You don't have to call it a resolution, but this is the time. Start whatever it is you want to start doing. Do 20 push-ups. Do 10 push-ups. Do 5 push-ups and get to 10. Do 5 squats. Get to 10. Get to 20. Get to 25. Do something. Touch your toes. I told my mom, 75 years old, I can't do. Well, what can you do? I don't want to hear what you can't do. You can't do that stretch. What stretch can you do? Do that and do more of that. You can't run, walk as much as you can. Make a commitment to yourself right now.
It's not a resolution, it's a revolution. So,
yeah, boy.
Well, y'all be safe out there.
Definitely. Congratulations again to you, Baba. Congratulations to you, the family, Yalagoon.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Can't wait to see her.
Yep, so happy. Edition. So happy, y'all. So love y'all.
Definitely.
Stay black, whatever it is you may be. Peace.
Right. Even the neutral noise, stay neutral, goddamn.
Stay neutral. All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.